Hundreds of people lined up to be the first inside a new hair store in Mobile on Dolphin Street when things got a little hairy.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh?
They're fighting, people skipping lines, all that stuff.
Like, the folks, they been tripping out here at 10 o'clock last night.
So this new segment is looking like pure deja vu because I just did a video not that long ago on the Houston hair salon called Hair Galleria in Houston, Texas that recently had a grand opening as well. And at that grand opening, aka Ghetto Gathering, there were large crowds of black women lined up, and some of them had even spent the night in order to receive those free hair bundles. When that grand opening happened, it quickly turned into chaos once they tried to open up the doors. There were several people pushing and shoving each other, a baby got pepper sprayed, and we even saw two women fighting over a wig. Now, critics of that grand opening are saying that it might have went a little bit smoother if the owners planned it out in a more orderly fashion, such as giving out numbers to the first 200 people or ensuring that they had enough security or law enforcement on site when they opened up.
I give one. If I don't, I'll be off.
But I think we all know they wanted that chaos to happen to further hype up their grand opening. And I'm feeling like it's the same in this situation. And this hair beauty supply store opened up in Mobile, Alabama. And this grand opening was eerily similar to the one in Houston, Texas. Because the usual suspects would soon emerge and immediately begin to present themselves in full ghetto glory. Some even spending the night to ensure a chance encounter with a free bundle of hair. And as soon as the sun rose, they began to ascend upon the beauty supply store as if it held some ancient secret to the meaning of life.
All to get a hold of some free hair products.
They were just pushing and shoving. They want to get their hair done.
Yeah, they giving out free 200 bundles, human hair bundles.
It was a bigger crowd than even the store owner was expecting.
I was surprised a little bit, but you know, it is what it is.
Money, please.
But we got the officers down here. They helped us out. Everybody calmed down, and everything's all right.
So here we are, and we have this beauty supply store owner acting like he was so surprised by all the fake hair frenzy being caused due to him announcing the free hair bundle giveaways. But anyone with half a brain can tell that he was probably inspired by the chaos that ensued at the grand opening for the new Hair Galleria store in Houston, Texas. So he decided he would take full advantage of that situation and do some promoting himself, and it seemed to work. And he was able to conjure up a ghetto gathering of his own.
Got the officers down here. They helped us out. Everybody calmed down, and everything's all right.
MPD officers were outside the store ensuring everyone's safety.
They were just here to make sure that officer presence was observed. People were able to see the officers. They think twice before they try to do anything silly. And as you can see, we still have officers manning the door, and only 2 people are able to enter in and out at one time.
No arrests were made and no injuries related to the line were reported, but officers were handing out parking tickets as they straightened the situation out.
So, as I said in my last video, I really don't care what people do with their own hair, alright? It's their hair, they're the ones that have to live with it and deal with it. They could cut it all off, they could put 1,000 tracks of weave in it, for all I care. But the issue I have with these certain situations and these shop owners who don't live in these communities, but they go in there, they set up shop, they sell products and chemicals that are not in the best interest of the people who actually live in those communities. Why? Because they're not their family. They don't care. As long as they can draw out the money from that community, they're perfectly fine with whatever chaos they bring along with them. And that's exactly what we're seeing with these hairstyle grand openings. You know, they've been sensationalized on social media, and even the local news is talking about them. And they're showcasing these ghetto black women who are willing to stay overnight to get some free hair, as if they can't afford it themselves. I mean, some of them probably can't afford it, but as I was saying before, most of these women, I'm sure they keep their hair done, so I'm sure they can afford to buy some hair on their own accord. But It's all about the free stuff, right? Like I said before, these are the type of people that constantly enforce these negative stereotypes that the other black women who are not like this have to fight against on a daily basis. One thing I will say about this grand opening, at least they had police on deck. You know, they were ready for any shenanigans that might happen. Unlike the grand opening that happened over there in Houston, Texas, where, like I said, it got so out of hand, people got pepper sprayed, people were pushing, I guess getting hit by cars. That one was so ridiculous. I compared it to a Boondocks episode, you guys, and I even did a side-by-side comparison. If you guys look at this is a Boondocks episode from 2014 called Breaking Granddad, and it was about the granddad who was trying to sell this hair care product, and when they opened the salon up, you had all these black women standing outside, standing in line, and I just found it really interesting how I was able to compare those with no issue, okay? It was a side-by-side replica, and that was 2014, and we're now in 2025. So it really just shows you how far some people have not come. And then the owner came out and started throwing bundles of hair into the crowd, which made it even more chaotic. You had people getting up on top of cars, twerking for hair. I mean, that one was like one of the lowest of the lows, okay? That ghetto gathering was ridiculous. So I guess I could say that is one plus out of this situation. They didn't have too much of the crowd going crazy, people getting hurt. There weren't any car accidents and things like that. I guess the shop owner tried to be a little bit more responsible in that aspect, and having the police there ahead of time and getting a hold of the situation before it got out of hand. So let's just hope that going forward, they don't encourage these large ghetto gatherings and encourage these women to act like straight maniacs over some free hair bundles. Because I think it's really the shop owner's responsibility to make sure that the function that they're throwing is going to be safe, make sure it's in order, so things that happen at that Houston hair salon grand opening don't happen again. Because we know it definitely can be done, because if we look at this one that happened in Alabama, it wasn't as chaotic as the one that happened in Houston, Texas. But at the end of the day, these black women that get out here and act like this have to do better. They have to eventually look in the mirror and realize where the change needs to come from. Because like I said, it's not about getting the free product, it's about the way you conduct yourself while you're trying to get that free product. I mean, you have people that will wait outside, Best Buy to get free electronics. They'll wait overnight for Black Friday deals. But this one is just a little bit of a different feel, okay, you guys?
She just appears to be just a little bit ghetto to me. A little bit ghetto.
For people who really hate and try to stay away from the negative stereotypes that come with the group that they're associated with, seeing things like this is really disheartening. Let me know if you guys agree with me down in the comments. If you just get sad, okay, when you see stuff like this happening, because you see there are still a lot of people out there who have not evolved, who don't know how to handle themselves in public, and who just keep pushing these negative stereotypes, and it just makes you feel sad. Honestly, that's what it made me feel, because honestly, that's what I felt when I first saw that ghetto gathering over there in Houston, Texas. A sense of sadness came over me, because I know this type of behavior is long from being over, okay? Because they had their children there, so it's a generation after generation thing that's being taught. These behaviors are being taught to their children. They learned it from their mom, so on and so forth. My only wish is that the chaos, would cease a little bit when these type of things happen. These businesses are going to keep trying to get the business, all right? They're not going anywhere. But the way that people choose to conduct themselves can change if they wanted to change.
Stop it. Get some help.
Well, you guys, let me know down in the comments how you feel about these ghetto gatherings that have been happening at these hair store grand openings. Do you feel like the shop owners could do a little bit better with the grand openings and making sure that chaos doesn't ensue once they open the doors? Well, that's going to be it for today, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave it a like, and if you're new here, subscribe.